Hey, welcome back to the Corbellic studio. I'm Corbellic. Today we're going to be knocking out a painting walkthrough step by step of these Victorian shoes, like these classic Victorian leather witch shoes, right? And they're going to have these colors coming out of it. You know how I like to do it, funky colors. But if you don't already know, I work off of a projector. I advise for you to do the same thing so that way if you're not comparing yourself to another artist, you're not trying to be another artist, you're not trying to figure out proportions and then you feel bad in color theory and all that. None of that stuff matters. People are lying to you. People are trying to throw you off and mess your mind up. Just get a projector. It's $30, no more than $50. You got all your proportions and stuff right there. You're already a creator. I know you were creating cool stuff when you were a kid. So what changed? Nothing's changed. This gives you the freedom to do it. I've sold over 17,000 original paintings on eBay. But if you want to learn more about how to set your store up, how to get your account properly formatted in eBay, how to have everything set up so you could be a business without social media, without apps, without any followers, nobody has to know about it. Click the link below. I have everything set up for you, all the templates of what you can do, what you need to do to start from day one, start making money next week, every day, because I get paid every day. I do auctions. All right, so without further ado, let's get started on this painting. Let's turn the light off and let's put in, this is going to be a 12 by 16 inch canvas. And today, since we said that it was going to be like a Halloween painting of sorts, maybe, or maybe not, you know, but let's just have the background be like a little bit of an orangish yellow. Okay, let's pull that through. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Let's see what we can pull through on this one. Let's see what comes out. And the cool thing about these paintings is there is no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. The only wrong is that you don't even try and that you don't show up. That's the easy part. But sometimes I'm telling you, even though I've sold so many paintings and I've done this so many times, it still feels like the hard part at times. Sometimes I'm human as well. You know, it's like going to the gym. Bodybuilders don't always feel like going to the gym. Sometimes I don't feel like painting, but I show up anyways. And then after I show up, it's like going to the gym where you feel better after you do that first rep. Sometimes if I feel like I'm just not feeling it, instead of me working off of the canvas as the first thing, what I'll do is I'll start off working on paper, on gallery paper. That way I can just loosen up and it doesn't matter. I always do a practice where I say to myself that, no one's going to see it. It doesn't matter. These are just studies. Or I'll say to myself, just make it as sloppy as possible. I forget where I heard that from years ago, but there was someone who said if you have a problem with trying to be a perfectionist and spending time on it, or thinking that your art is bad, or being judgmental in your mind about anything that you're doing, it didn't even have to do about art. They was like, then do the opposite. Make it the sloppiest. If you want to be as perfect and you want everything to be right, say to yourself, you know what, it doesn't matter, I'm going to make it wrong. And I'm telling you, that just gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. And then once you do it, you're going to realize that it looks great. So let's dry this off with the heat gun. All right, so that's dry enough. On this one, we're going to just start off with the background highlights, which is the black. So I'm just going to go in with the blacks and try to touch in on the outline, you know, the proportions. We're going to do that, and then we're going to just touch it in with the colors. I think it's going to be fairly simple, and I think this is going to look great. I think people are really going to love this one. And then if not, they don't know what they're talking about. I'll keep it for myself. All right, so look, we're just going in with the black. All right, we're going in with the black. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So however you want to do it, there's no right or wrong way. Just try to blot the colors out fast. And then we'll fill everything else in later, or have it in impression of it. That's why it's called impressionism. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the idea of what you're trying to paint. Don't try to be perfect on it. When I look back at some of my art, my early art, when I was doing expressionism and impressionisms, it looks bad because I was trying to control the outcome, and I could tell, instead of just trusting in it with quick blotched out work, just like this. When I say blotched out, just doesn't matter. Just quick. Quick brush strokes like that. Okay, let me put a like that. And in the past, I was using smaller paint brushes. So it looked like you could just see the lines where it's like small paint brushes. All right, so now what we're gonna do, since we're gonna have flowers coming out of it, I wanna have the darker colors first because I want them to be behind the flowers. So we're just gonna do that quick, and I'm gonna do that with like a dark green. I just mix in a little bit of my navy blue with the green, right? And then areas that's like dark, we just do this. Because it's going to be impressionism anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Then we're just going to do just a little bit of black, a little bit of black, a little bit of the blue, back to the green. See that? So that way that color is a little bit darker, but it's not black. And I'm just doing this so we can have some background color of the plants. What is it? It's not the flowers, but it's the leaves around it, the greenery. What am I trying to say? Okay. And there. Right? That looks good. That looks good. So now what we're going to do, since we have that as the background, now we're just going to finish our shoes, and then we're going to do the flowers last. I really like the flowers because there's no rules to it. So let's go with our shoes. Let's do like a light baby blue. And then we're going to have this one be a little bit of a different color. There's no rules to it. Now let's do a purple. So that way it's still a little bit like there's some dark shoes, but they're not completely black. Now I'm just when I go through my colors, I'm just saying what's in my head of what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean that I'm right. Maybe my color format is wrong. I don't know. And it could be. But I just think it's more fun to design and pick your colors. Because when we're done, you have to trust the process. When we're done, people are still going to know what you're trying to relay in your art of what the image is. And we're going to do like a little shadow underneath. You see how the strokes are just broad and bold. I'm not overthinking. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some white so we could do the tennis shoe laces, or the laces, not tennis shoes. And you see how I'm being so broad with it. This is cool. It's the impression that you're trying to relay. It's not the detail of it, it's the impression of it, of what you're doing. That way nobody can tell you that you're right or wrong. I think the only way that you could really go wrong, think of it this way, the only way that you could really go wrong is if you try to be too detailed. Because then if you go too detailed, people know that you're trying to be technical and detailed. And if it doesn't look good, you mess up on the hands, you mess up on the face, you mess up on the tennis shoe laces, or it doesn't look exact, people are going to say, oh, you're a bad artist, because they can see your whole objective from the beginning was to be detailed in the painting. But if your whole objective, if people know that you're being an expression or an impression of an idea, then they can't judge or say anything. I mean, they can't say anything anyways, but you get what I'm saying. That's why it's more pressure on yourself if you try to be detailed in the art, because then you have to commit to it. You have to commit to what you're trying to portray, and that's a detailed painting or a detailed drawing. And it takes you all day to do it, and then nobody buys it. Then how do you feel? Do you feel like spending another 20 hours the next day, 10 hours, doing a perfect painting or a perfect drawing? No, you don't. You're gonna say, forget it, I'm just gonna get a regular job. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. I have everything set up for you step by step. How you can start selling and start making money next week. I've been doing this way too long. I know all the secrets, and I got everything set up for you. And you're going to be getting the most support from the community on your links. Let's put a flower up here, like a purple one. Right? So cool already. So cool already. I'm not really. I like my flowers because they're so abstract. But I'm not a detailed flower person. Now let's add some white to make those colors pop. After we lay the colors down, you want to add some white in there to bring them out, especially when it comes to the flowers. Then what I like to do when it comes to flowers is I like to go back into the little creases and then add some darker colors as far as the greenery plant, like this. I'll go back into the blue, a little bit of black, the green, and then let me turn the lights back on so we can see what we have. Look at that, that's awesome. I told you it was gonna all work out. You were doubting me, I know you were. I doubt myself on every painting, so I don't blame you. All right, just a little bit of yellow when you wanna soften that up, soften that green up, that dark green. All right, now let's go back to the darker side. All right, see what we're doing here? That's awesome. Now we'll just add a touch of white, right, like this. A touch of white specks. It really makes it pop. That's the secret too. Whenever you're doing like flowers, just a little tight, like of white dots of specks in there. Let's go back into the shoe. And let's make a little bit some darker areas, right? I'm just tacking the black right now. And the darker areas, what do you think? At the bottom, that's our shoe. And that is that. Some vintage witch shoes with flowers coming out of it. And we did that together. If I can do this, you can do it. There it is. That's our painting right there. So that's the beautiful painting right there with the witch shoes, flowers coming out of it, some roses, some assorted flowers, different colors. You can put this in the kitchen, bathroom, living room. You can have this as a gift, holiday. It doesn't matter, but there's just so many different options of what you can do for yourself. And we did this together. If I can do it, you can do it. You know, I always say the same thing. So click the link below, go into the free eBay art program so you can see how you can be set up to start making money as early as next week. So I appreciate you guys checking out this video. I'm gonna go into doing a time lapse. Now I'm gonna complete my day and I'm gonna knock out 40, 50, 60 canvases and have fun. All right.